Everybody, hello. We are going to be beginning episode 2 of Fabulous Misfits. The last session 2 weeks ago, we met our 4 adventurers. You all had met in Seyren, one of the border cities within the Kingdom of Andel. After having fought off the wave of enemies, Anya Fash had asked you to head down to Ithun to gather information by posing as adventurers.
I mean, if you leave it to me, it's a straight line.
I'm also voting straight line.
To go straight from Seyren to Ithun is 9 days. Now, as you enter into the Kingdom of Idenhall, the very feel you get from the land is different. As soon as you cross the border into Idenhall, everything feels strict and straightforward. As y'all are walking, Rek, you start to get the smell of something nearby. There's the smell of meat. You notice a bit of a ditch on the side, and within the ditch, you see a flipped over cart. First off, underneath the cart, all you really find is the charred, lightly cooked horse and these 10 pouches, as well as a small wooden box.
Taking the pouches and the painting, I will climb back out of the fetch to where the other two are. Friend Alessandro, does this painting show anything that you recognize? And I unrolled the painting and showed it to her.
You recognize that this is a painting of High Priestess Scarlet Andel, otherwise known as the leader of the Kingdom of Andel and the highest ranked person within the church. And with that, you are able to continue on. No sign of who might have owned the cart. As you are coming to the end of the day's travel, you're actually coming to the forest that is on the map. The trees are not too closely put together. They appear close enough to constitute a wooded area or a small forest, but there's plenty of space for you to pass through without issue. And eventually, you notice some leaves starting to come adrift from a tree, and you look up and you see Rek casually sitting there with Autumn, just hanging out. So as you all are doing your various tasks, I'm going to be rolling an attack against Rek.
No, Rek, the boy!
I'm sorry, not Rek. What I meant to say is Gavin.
No, Gavin, the man!
From behind you, there are these meshes of vine that seem to have collated and formed these giant masses, and there are 2 of them.
I mean, if Rek is being a surprise friend, then surprise friend goes first makes sense.
That's a 10.
That's a 10? That will hit. That is 14 points of damage.
I will jump down and swing my fists, clawing at 3.
So that is going to be 20 points of darkness damage. As from the center of these thorny vines, it opens up a maw that just reaches out and grabs you.
I am going to take this chance and start channeling the acolyte's baton with a little bit of a twirl and a flourish inspired by Gavan's exhortation to glory. I will begin singing the same haunting melody that graced the battlefield in town for all of our enemies to hear.
So as you start doing that, you notice that the vines kind of shift around a little bit. It's hard for you to tell if your attempt is even working on it. The blue one is going to go, and it is going to lash a vine out at you, Akaikios. Alright, so you are going to take 14 points of physical damage. You are now weak and cannot perform guard.
Realizing that in his weakened state, he's unable to land a blow with his blade, instead reaches out his hand and just drains the life force, and you see the vines begin to wilt, just shriveled and dry.
As the green one officially enters crisis, its vines flailing around furiously and confused. It is just gonna try and lash back out at you. That is an 11 to hit. You are gonna take 11 points of physical damage.
As I come out of my routine, I plant my baton firmly pointed toward the vines that are clearly flailing around from the warning devices. And I attempt to blast it. That is a 13 to hit.
That will hit the green one.
And it's high roll +5, so 13 damage.
You let off a single blast into the center of these vines, and it just lets out this uncomfortable, like, as it then just unravels, and you see what looks like this Venus flytrap in the center.
Is the one that I hit still actually alive, or?
No, that one, you killed it.
Cool.
You finished it off.
All right, so I'm gonna blast the other one then.
Fortunately, it just cannot connect.
Oh, goddamn it. That will be a 12 to hit.
That will hit.
Right? That will be 20 damage.
All right. And with that, as you get your strike off on this thing, the last of its vines just up and, much like the other one, splay out to the side, revealing this maw and this yellow tongue with eyes, and it just looks so weird. And with that, you all are safe. The day passes without incident, actually, and night falls as you begin to reach a fairly small city. As you are reaching the outskirts, a very, I don't want to say low dress, but his armor is clearly not up to snuff. What brings you to Valdstone?
We are travelers seeking adventure and our fortunes to the land to the south.
There's an inn just about four buildings that way. The tavern, the liveliest building by far. The lights are on. There's sounds of chatter coming from inside, and atop a door of this 3-story building, it simply says "The Soldier's Rest." You see a very, very clearly overworked. They're fairly androgynous behind the counter, but they have very noticeably green skin. Those who are traveled and well aware, these are Verdun, very commonly from the Ivorian Kingdom. These are those who have been, who have come from Phyresia. They put 2 keys down on the table. They're like, all right, this one goes to the triple, this one goes to the single. So you go upstairs, you change, you put your stuff down, you make sure everything's safe. Whoever is hanging out in the tavern and would like to roll an insight and willpower to kind of listen in on what people are talking about. Alessandra, you're going to hear a couple of things. Because you rolled a 13, I believe? So you're going to hear 2 things. The first one you hear is a couple of guards talking. Can you believe it? The fucking Kennox should be done soon, so we don't have to deal with their attacks anymore. Yeah, fucking Phaedron giving the South supplies, trying to change that, make it so that they can win. Fully in support of that. And then from another corner of the room, you hear something more disconcerting. Look, man, I don't know what's going on. Some of these creatures I've been finding, they're like these soldiers, but they're like they clearly look like they've grown in their armor. Their skin is miscolored and splotchy. They don't even seem, humanoid anymore. There is a merchant going around selling demon blood to make more powerful warriors. That's all. If you know what you're doing, you can easily avoid it. They follow orders, same as anyone else. So you pick yourselves up, you get a thanks for coming from the waitress, and you will begin to walk out. As you are continuing forward, you hear the howls, and in the distance you notice an abandoned cart. There's a dead horse in front of it. However, the horse is being chewed on by 3 wolves. Well, so Kekios has a brilliant idea.
I have enough brave points to spirit leech all 3 of them at the same time. All right, holding the sword in both hands, point down, he thrusts it into the ground, and a mist flows out from the crack left behind.
I thought you said and he missed.
And he missed, yeah. 11 against magic defense.
That will hit. And as this mist engages with the wolves, and they start to feel this pain. They all turn, lightly growling, with their snouts just covered in the blood from this horse as they begin charging.
Yeet the child!
Are we doing the fastball special again?
Yeet the child.
Alright.
Oh, fuck me sideways. That's a double one.
Oh god.
Kill the child!
There it is. I knew my roll luck from Pathfinder would transfer over soon enough.
That's a 14 to hit on the green one.
So the green one is going to perish. Tired of being the chew toy, you snap around and just out of rage, you bite into this wolf, and it just goes limp in your mouth. And with the end of that battle, as we are closing in on the end of the day, and it's almost time to set up camp for the night, that's where we will leave off session.